Hey guys, it's Laurence here, and it's Tuesday shooting this video today. Today's Tuesday, and over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was at a mastermind here in Dubai called the Dubai Boardroom, and I had the pleasure, I guess, of speaking with and listening to and learning from Charlie Morgan. And he jumped up and kind of spoke to the room. There's about 15 of us about how to get to $1 million a month. He's doing a bit over $1 million a month, and he conceptualized his business in a way that allows me at least to see how getting to $1 million a month is going to be possible. And I wanted to share that with you so that you can, whether you want to get to $1 million a month or you want to get to 100K a month or whatever it is that you want to get to, this is going to really help you. Well, I hope it helps you because it certainly helped me. And it helped a lot of people in the room as well. So I thought I would save you the ticket price of the mastermind. In exchange, hit that subscribe button. So I'll share what Charlie shared and I'll explain what we're doing as a result, not only for ourselves now, but also for our clients as well. So you can take these lessons and implement them in your own business. Charlie pulled up a version of a sheet that looked like this. Here you have basically attention. And this is a big barrel of attention, right? Let's look at it like water. This is going to be water and it's really attention. And here we have a bucket that basically collects money. And basically the business is this piping that takes attention and turns it into money, right? And in order to do that, we need a tap. So we've got a tap here that looks something like that. And a tap is basically represents a form of taking attention and putting it into your funnel. So you could view this a little bit like a funnel. The only thing that is different is that a funnel is very marketing heavy. It's all about marketing. It's all about how do we take attention, how do we turn it into money. But this is a lot more detailed and goes into a lot more, it gives you a lot more understanding of how your business actually works. So we've got a tap. So this tap could be anything. It could be, YouTube organic. It could be my favorite method of generating calls, which is email. It could be paid ads. It doesn't really matter what it is, but there's a tap that takes attention and puts it into your system. Now, most people think that this part right here is where the sale is made. And that's your typical kind of marketing funnel that we all know and love. But that is not correct. The sale might be made somewhere here, for example. But the only true way to get money and keep money is for everything that happens after this. So all of this here is going to be your service delivery. And what Charlie walked everybody through is to basically, step by step, in excruciating detail, mark out everything that happens along the journey. So all of these little dashes that I'm drawing now represent tasks, they represent things that are happening. So let's say, for example, somebody clicks on a YouTube video. They see the hook of a YouTube video. They see the call to action, CTA. Sorry, I'll zoom in slightly here and then be able to zoom back out. They then maybe book in a call. They then show on the call. They then buy, or they don't. So what Charlie kind of walks us through is that this is not where the funnel ends. We then talk about okay, now there's maybe an onboarding call, and you basically map out every single step from somebody seeing you, knowing that you exist, all the way through to finishing your relationship with that client, all the way through to here. Because only when somebody goes from the very start all the way through, although the sale is made here and maybe cash is collected, it's not necessarily kept, or it's not fulfilling future growth until the service has been delivered in a very good way. What we're doing in our business right now, based off everything that we learned over the weekend and speaking with Charlie, is that we are basically listing out everything from start to finish, every single step that a prospect goes through to get them from a prospect into a client, and then every single step from a client to a happy client and beyond. We list everything out. So let's say here, let's keep it kind of from the marketing perspective, because a lot of people, that's one of maybe the easiest examples to share. Not only do we have these steps, we then go one step further. And for each step, we have a KPI. So we have a KPI for each and every step. And not only do we have a KPI, we have an SOP on how to carry out each step. And then we have, so that would be like SOP number 1. And then we have an SOP number 2 on what to do if the KPI or the metric is outside of KPI. It allows you to basically see that the water is flowing very nicely through the pipe, but then we might have this bottleneck here where you've got all this water here, and then all of a sudden there's this thing in the business that is stopping a lot of water coming through, and it's really slowing down the growth. And the only way to be able to identify what that bottleneck is by having KPIs and metrics for every single step. So you not only do you have a KPI, so something that you are looking to achieve, but you then have to track the metric to see whether or not it's within KPI or not. And this allows you to conceptualize the business in a much easier way. Usually as business owners, we've got multiple departments, we've got multiple staff members, we've got different things going on. We've not necessarily 100% clear where, or should I say, why we're not achieving the things we want to achieve. We think it might be over here, it might be over there might be a problem over there, but we're not quite sure. And so we're like, maybe fixing the wrong things. We're maybe spending our attention on the wrong things. So here's a really smart thing that I learned over the weekend is, let's take like a sheet of paper, right? And up here, we have the steps. We've got the steps which represent all of these little things here, all the different steps. And next to the steps, we have the KPIs for those steps. So step here might be like, let's say it's cost per call, right? So that would be our step. Our KPI might be $200. That's like our target is $200. We then look at what the actual metric is. So what the day-to-day metric is. And the metric might be $180. So then it's like, is it within KPI? Yes, it is. Okay, I now know I don't need to focus on that. Because as business owners, what we all do is we all like fill our day with lots of different things, but are we spending our time on the most effective things? Maybe we are, maybe we're not. This gives us an exact answer as to what we should be spending our time on, because our job as business owners is to make sure that this pipe flows as freely as possible, all the way from attention, all the way down to money. So let's take another example, right? Let's say cost per acquisition. So how much is it costing us to sign a client? And let's say that our target is, well, let's just say it's 2K, right? And that the actual metric is 2,500. And is that metric within KPI? No, it's not. So now we know that this is a big red flag that we need to focus on if we want to remove a bottleneck in our business piping. And when you are signing 1 or 2 clients per month, this might not be the biggest metric that you need to focus on. It might not be the biggest bottleneck in your business. But when you're signing, for example, 100 clients a month or even 10 clients a month, you're then spending like 5K to 50K more than you should be, which can cause a big problem. So you would have all of the steps with all of the KPIs and all of the metrics and a system to track each step, the KPIs, find out the metrics. Is it within KPI, yes or no? If it is, we leave it. If it isn't, if there's a no, that is another red flag. And that's what we can focus on. Now, all of this is really well and good, but the biggest bottleneck that we see time and time again for 95% of people is here, this tap, right? They have one tap, and the one tap that they have generally is referrals in their network. It is an unpredictable tap. It is not a tap that you can turn on. It is not a tap that you can necessarily turn off. And it's not a tap that you can open up further. You have no control over the growth of the business. You have no control over what comes into your pipeline, into these pipes. And that's where most people's biggest bottleneck lies. Let's take somebody like Charlie Morgan, right? Really big on YouTube, doing 7 figures a month. If this bucket was awareness, he is probably like, let's say his water ends here. Now, most people's bucket or barrel of water is like here. And so they've got this tap that has all this piping, but there's nothing coming through it in the first place. There is nothing coming through it. And what we need to do is push all of this up. We need to gain more awareness. And once you gain more awareness, you'll have more statistical data to be able to make better decisions on the business. But at the moment, so little is coming through that you're not able to really systemize and kind of productize your service because there's just not enough attention. So for most people, the bottleneck lies right here, right at the very, very start. This barrel of attention is empty. Now for Charlie, it might be, his bottleneck might be around calls. And the reason it's around calls is not because he can't generate enough calls, but because he can't generate enough closers to take those sales calls, or he can't sign them quickly enough. He can't find the right people. So everybody's got different challenges, and some challenges are obviously better to have than others. But the vast majority of people have a challenge here in the very first place. A lot of clients that we speak to, they've got their fulfillment nailed down. They know how to bring clients on board. They're just not generating enough calls. It's the biggest problem we see time and time again. They've got these amazing businesses that deliver great results. They get their clients amazing results. They change their clients' lives and their businesses, but they're just not doing enough of it. And it's because they're getting this part wrong right here. And it all comes down to a lack of sales calls. And that's exactly what we can do to help. We can help you put more calls on your calendar. There's no point thinking about all of this stuff, all of the little bottlenecks that might be there. They might not be there. And you might have this amazing business, and I'm sure you probably do. Most of our clients do. They have these amazing businesses. They have these very clean pipes, should I say, where clients can go through, money can flow through. They're just not pouring enough into the top. There's not enough going into the top, and there's not enough coming out of the bottom. And we can solve that for you. We can put 100, 200 sales calls on your calendar every single month through cold outreach alone. And we can do so on a pay on results basis. So if you want to find out how we can help you grow from where you are now, fix that problem, add that tap to this attention, build up attention, put in another proven system, another tap, so that you can start to do what we're doing, which is really flowing people through this pipe and really start to grow. So maybe we can grow to the same size as Charlie, maybe beyond. Maybe you don't want to go to $1 million a month, but you just want to have a consistent lead flow. You want to have a predictable system inside your business where if you want a new client next week or next month, you know how to do it, as opposed to relying on referrals, relying on word of mouth, relying on the goodwill of others to help you grow your business. Not a great place to be. So if you want to find out how we can remove that bottleneck for you, then click the first link in the description, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll be coming back with more helpful, insightful videos. Any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.